Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Browntown, Wisconsin on a fine December day, checking out the Powers auction, winter consignment auction. And man, right off the bat, check this absolute babe out. This is an Oshkosh four-wheel drive snowplowing truck. Boy, is this thing sweet. So I'm about 6'2", I believe, and the bottom of the cab comes up to my neck. This thing's a monster. So as I mentioned, it is four-wheel drive. I guess I never really realized that these were super single trucks, or maybe not all of them are. I've seen a few of these, but never really gotten to crawl over one like this. The serial number doesn't really denote the year very easily. This thing seems to be in remarkably good shape. Got a monster V-blade on it, of course. That thing is so wicked looking. I love the exhaust straight out of the top of the hood. It's got a slight muffler on it. Then it's got its big wing blade here. Got a little bit of crust on the bottom of the hood. I love all the lights. Oh, this thing's awesome. The paint and everything's in remarkably good shape. This fender's pretty creased. I can't believe how clean it seems to be for being a snow plowing truck. Looks like they've coated the frame many a times over the years, so that probably helped it a lot. I would assume this is a single frame truck. Yep, it is a big single, probably 3/8. Oh no, it actually goes to a double in there. It's not all rust jacked. Bottom of the bed seems okay. I figured this was a dump bed, but it looks like it's just a flat bed. Oh, you got a spare tire. It's got a tailgate like a dump bed, but it seems solid mounted. Yeah, I don't see any pivots. Let's see if we can crawl up in here and see what the power plant of this sweetheart is. All right, it is not an easy task to get up here and get this hood up. I had to kind of like scamper up the tank under the mirror. And yeah, anyway, it's a big naturally aspirated, I believe a Cummins, although it is Caterpillar yellow. Pretty greasy. Let's go in the cab and see how many hours this thing has. Okay, made it back off that fender. Oh yeah, it's that like funky green. All right, here we got some model number information. Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I knew these trucks were local. The max speed, 43 miles an hour. This is an M4 2209. And I don't see a year. I guess this thing's 60s. Oh my. Look at the spare bolts assortment. Oh, here we go. I got some information on year, make, and model. Okay, well, they had insurance on it, but their insurance is really vague. Man, this thing is so sweet. I am geeking out here. Oshkoshes are so wildly different than any other truck on the road because of the windshield. I mean, they are four-wheel drive monsters, but the front leaning windshield, which I believe is, to help you with snow, keep snow off the windshield, but it's so cool looking. I've never seen it from the inside. Check out the old school fan. All these gauges and everything look original. So it looks like we have a 2-speed auxiliary and then a 4-speed. 5-speed, because your top gear's overdrive. Looks like it was property of Greene County, Monroe, Wisconsin. I'm not quite sure where that is. Then you have about 1 million controls over here for your snowplow. Oh, the side wiper. This thing's wicked cool, man. I am geeking out. Oh, here we go. Another insurance card that doesn't have a date for the truck. Looks like we had 36,000 miles and 1,400 engine hours, so really not much at all. I imagine, this thing probably only comes out for the big snows. I don't know. According to this, yeah, so at least until 1990, it was working for the state. I don't know who's selling it right now. Oh man, I wish I was in a better spot in life to buy this thing, because this thing is so freaking cool. I don't know what you would do with it other than, you know, plow your driveway 3 times a year, and even then I couldn't really justify a wing blade Oshkosh truck to plow my driveway, but I'd find something to use this thing for. Wow. The tires are gnarly too. They've been eaten through some curbs it looks like. This thing is a beauty. Okay, but there is a lot more stuff to this auction, so let's get moving. Alrighty, jumping kind of right into the smalls and junk area. We have a couple cool things here. We got a set of tracks for a side-by-side here. These look pretty nice, actually. These are Polaris brand ones. Is this an actual toolcat? Yes, so this is an actual toolcat. Last time I was at this auction, I found what I thought was one of these, but it was actually the smaller version. This is the full-blown toolcat, so it has the actual arm on the front. Someone pointed that out correctly. The ones I were looking at, they were just snowplow setups. Yeah, so basically this is a side-by-side 4-wheel drive Bobcat, gas or diesel, and then they have this boom on the front so you can put all sorts of attachments on them. They're pretty cool. They're usually used on like college grounds or golf courses for maintenance stuff, but they always seem to live a really rough life. This one must have salted or something very corrosive, but the cab looks actually just as bad. How many hours do you have? That's a really loud beeper. It wants the glow plug for 20 seconds. I'm not waiting for that. We got a lot of stuff to see. But I bet this thing still goes for a lot of money. These are very expensive machines. This one is a diesel one. We got a Polaris 500 Indy. This would not be a triple, I don't think. This would just be a twin. Yeah, it's just the twin. I had the older version of this, an Indy 700, about a year or so ago. This thing's kind of cool. I went and toured one of my buddy's cattle farms, and he had one of these. It's a feeder cart, but I called it a Zamboni. He didn't think I was super funny, but I thought it was hilarious. All right, we're gonna jump right into the funky. Oh yeah, could it be a beat up old skid steer? It's like my specialty. And my new specialty, bunker maintaining equipment. Picked up one of these at the last auction I went to, and boy oh boy, it's been a treat. This one's much more modern. I don't know if this one's gas. Yeah, this one's a V-twin as well. Still not quite sure what I'm gonna do with mine. Mine doesn't have any of the implements, so it's kind of a blank canvas. Anyway, let's check out this New Holland. This is quite a bit more modern than the skid steer I'm currently rocking. This one is a Kubota. I guess that's a 4-cylinder diesel. These New Hollands, they're kind of cool. This is an L555. It's got a smooth bucket that's really worn out on the bottom. It does have an auxiliary hookup, which I assume it might have ran this breaker. Looks like that might have came with it. Although I only see one auxiliary hose unless the other one comes over there. Your operator seat leaves something to be desired. Cab's pretty rusty. Interesting. Hello. And more.
And more.
Yeah. Have a good one. Some gentleman asked me if I found everything I want. Boy, have I. What more could a guy ask for than a beat up old skid steer? Tires look okay, although they are completely mismatched. They got a weird little torch spot on the frame. I bet this one goes above. Oh, there's your other auxiliary hydraulic. Okay. I wonder if someone did that kind of like a homemade job, you know? I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it, but I believe it'll probably be worth too much for what I think it's worth. Oh, yeah. A 650? Is this actually an industrial one or no? Someone just painted this yellow. Okay. So I had a John Deere 750 about 2 years ago with a front loader. I thought maybe this was some funky like industrial unit, but I've never seen one before, so that's why I was all excited. But this is just a tractor someone painted yellow for some ungodly reason. Has nice turf tires all the way around. This one is the 4-wheel drive version. 1,200 hours. I mean, these run a belly mower nice. Mine had a nice finish mower, belly mower. They're good little utility tractors, but I was unimpressed with the capabilities of the front loader. Awesome. I bet that goes pretty cheap just because it's ugly, but not super cheap. I believe I sold mine for like 5 running, working. So I bet this goes for like 3 in its shape. It is quite warm today comparatively to last week. Last week I was on an auction and it was like 5 degrees. This week it's like 40, but there's still plenty of ice to be found. Got a really goofy looking Ford 4030. Never seen one like that. Oh yeah, a Steiner. My buddy Steven and his dad Eric have one of these. They hate it. This one is, I can already tell, way better than theirs because it is repowered. Theirs, I don't think they mind. It's just the Onan engine gives them a bunch of funky issues. This one's got a Briggs 23 horsepower manual. I'm sure it is a way better machine. I believe their Onan on theirs, like the starter bolt mount pattern, is drilled wrong. It's got some really quirky issues. Got another one next to it. Or at least I assume this is also a Steiner. Never seen a green flavored one. Show me something more Christmas than that. Buying a matching red and white, red and green Steiner. Ooh. This one's a little Kubota, aren't you? No, what? Oh, I got all excited thinking it was a Kubota diesel. It's a 3-cylinder gas. Are you Kubota? What are you now? Ah, so it's a Ransom. I've seen their mowers before. 3-cylinder gas. Man, I really thought that was a diesel the first look I took of it. I bet that is still a Kubota though. It looks like a Kubota alternator. Huh, I didn't know they made these. I thought only Steiner made these things. I wonder if these are better or worse. All right, keep moving, Patrick. There's a lot of stuff to see. I'm not even going to begin to fathom what that thing does. Another bunker maintainer. There's always one of these at this auction. A Ventrac cabbed with a push broom. They're usually rough. This one is a 26.5 horsepower diesel. 4-wheel drive cabbed. This is like another step or two up from the Steiner and Ransom we just looked at. These, again, like the tool cats, seem to always go to like colleges and stuff like that, do maintenance tasks, and they always end up rusty. This one doesn't want to even show its hours. If it's non-running, I wouldn't mind playing with one and seeing what's up. I don't know how you get the hood to come up. There you go. Oh, this is a Vanguard, which is a Daihatsu. It's got at least 5,000 hours, I bet. I bet even if this thing is sold as non-running, it goes for a lot of money. All right, I'm having to kind of make some decisions here because, as you can see, the sun is getting low. I wasn't able to get out of work till a little bit later than I wanted to, so we don't have as much sunlight as I would like. And it's winter, so it gets dark at like 2 p.m. here in Wisconsin. Anyway, there's just acres of funky groundskeeping equipment here. We got another Ventrac here. It's kind of same setup, actually. This Yanmar kind of sticks out to me. Pretty nice looking. Not a tractor you see every day. Looks very similar to that John Deere 650 that we looked at in kind of shape and form. Just a ton of John Deere lawnmowers for some reason. I wonder if a bunch of people are doing like inventory reduction at tractor repair shops, you know? Kind of has that feel. We have something very odd here. A bunch of beekeeping boxes. Odd. Trying to scan through the snowbank here to see if there's anything else. Ooh, I gotta go check out the ATC 120 or 185S. Not gonna miss out on that. I am a big three-wheeler guy. After the last auction, I picked up 2 of them. That one's looking pretty sad. The tank looks okay, and the fenders and everything look all right. Just no engine. Nothing else good over here. But I do want to check out this generator here because it has the Detroit diesel logo on it. Maybe there's a little 453 turbo hiding in here I could pick up for my J truck that I want to repower. Come on. Imagine it's like the apocalypse or something and you want to try and get your generator fired up. You can't even get in there. What? You guys scammed me. It's a small block Chevy, isn't it? Why the heck is the Detroit diesel logo on here? 60 series sticker at that. That's no stinking 60 series. You couldn't even put like a 6.2 or something in it? Come on. Anyway, that's like a small block Chevy V8. I assume running on propane. This is the second time this has happened. This is the second time it's the same exact auction. I got all excited. I thought I was going to find a sweet deal in Detroit. Then it ends up just being something else in a Detroit housing for whatever reason. Anyway, funky conveyor stuff out of some sort of manufacturing plant. All sorts of things over here. This is kind of a cool find. We have a Lombardi diesel powered sign board. Missed out on one of these at the last auction that I didn't even know was there. Sold for $100, same setup, but it was actually the like signboard you could put words on, which would be way more fun than just being able to point arrows at things. This one looks like it runs and stuff. Be a good way to get a little trailer and a little diesel engine if you got it pretty cheap. This is some serious deja vu. There's like the same exact stuff that was here last time. We have another weld boom. This is a setup so you can put your MIG power supply down here and your wire feeder up here. I'd like to build something similar to this for my garage. This would be a good start of it. This one's a fixed one. No, it's not. You can unpin it. Yeah, okay. I got another compressor here. A big guy. Another big compressor. Yeah, I think I'm going to hop out of this lineup and go check out some of the bigger stuff. On a side note, these Chinese mini excavators are just getting cheaper and cheaper. I thought the tariffs would drive the prices of these things up or the availability down, and that does not seem to be the case. Last auction, I saw these getting down to like $1,800 a piece for a brand new one, which is kind of almost tempting. We got an old industrial Ford tractor here, missing its rear tires. Well, one rear tire. It's got a very early sweeper attachment, which is kind of cool. Let's see what else is here. It's hard to see with the sun setting. Looks like we got a county plow. Let's head down here and work our way up because I see quite a few tractors I would like to check out. I'm not even going to begin to guess what's going on here with the Sportsman. Sportsman Park. Looks kind of like a Ford, but it's narrower. And motor is stuck. Got kind of a homemade ROP setup. Tires are low, but I mean, they're not all cracked up. Yeah, if you know anything about this thing, let me know. I have no idea what one of these is. IHWD4. I don't know. Anyway, woo, almost laid her down. I came over here because of these 2 Bantam Jeep trailers. These are early military Jeep trailers. They're pretty cool. People build campers and stuff out of them. I always thought they were kind of neat. Don't really need one though. I love case tractors, and this one is no exception. This is a Case 930 6-cylinder diesel. Got them big old fat tires on her. Just a real beauty. I love the Case logo. We talked about that recently. The fenders on this one are kind of goofy looking, but anyway. Got a Massey Harris here. Paint's kind of faded, missing its carburetor, but complete tractor nonetheless. Tires are eh. Got a Farmall H with a plow, which is kind of interesting to see. And then we have one very sad sight to see here. Might bring a tear to my brother's eye. This is a John Deere 4440, which looks like it got a little crispy, to say the least. This thing got smoked. The engine, I was gonna say the engine might be savable, but it looks like it got pretty hot up here, so probably not. About here forward's good though, if you needed a nose. The sound guard cab is just smoked. Man, they got this thing good. Wonder what started it. I don't know if it started in the engine or started in the cab. Anyway, the Farmall's pretty sweet. I like the plow setup on it. It's kind of cool. Got a couple more classic tractors here. Some Chalmers. That one's kind of neat with the belly mower. I guess that's a finish mower. This is an Chalmers C, it looks like. Keep moving, Patrick. A lot to see in little daylight. Got a Ford front end loader. A kind of suspicious Chevy dually. I wonder if this has issues. Looks like it's kind of been in a front end crash. That fender's buckled. Missing its bug guard. It's got Tahoe doors on it. This thing's... yeah, I bet it was wrecked and put back together. Yeah, it's got a tuner. It's a 2008. Tell me your miles. Oh. Seems to sound okay. Still won't tell me the mileage though. Too new for my taste, but these things are really ahead of their time for their age. A 2008, I think this thing's kind of, I always thought these were much newer trucks. Yeah, this thing definitely hides some secrets. Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of touched up paint spots. I'd be very curious to see what someone pays for this thing. Check this sweetie pie out. Thought I was filming for like 10 minutes and missed my whole blurb on this truck. This is a 93 D350 12 valve 5-speed truck. So this is a 2-wheel drive, extended cab long bed dually. Power windows. I just had it running. It runs really good. 160,000 miles and it seems to be completely rust free. I don't see a drop of rust, even up around the windshield where these things usually go really bad. According to the tags, it came from Oregon. Don't know if that's true or what the deal is there. But it's really beat up. The bed is pretty beat up. Paint's really rough. It's got like spray paint in different spots. If this is a 4-wheel drive truck, I would say it would go for close to 10 all day long. But being 2-wheel drive, I bet it goes for being rust-free, kind of low miles, seems to run good. I bet 8, but let's see. All right, jumping across the aisle here, we got a Chevy C60 grain truck, which is cool. But this International crawler is way cooler. This is a little gasoline tractor. You do not see the International crawlers very often, so I am psyched to see this one. It's got a cool little badge from the company it must have worked for. This is a TD6. Tank's got a couple dents and dings in it, but not really that bad. This just has a lot of style. It's really boxy, but smooth at the same time, you know? It's hard to explain. There's a couple things. This was at the last auction that we were just at. Same company, but a different location, so I always kind of figured they move stuff between auctions when it doesn't sell for what they want. And they must have done that with that trailer. But anyway, this thing I'm going to assume is a runner based on the pretty fresh looking fuel filter. Looks like it must have been stored inside. Check out the hour gauge, kind of cool looking. What a beautiful little machine. I would love to have a little crawler like this. That is definitely on the list this summer to try and find one that I can afford. Don't think this one's going to be it. Too many eyes at this auction, and it's too nice of a machine. Kind of blew past these two on the way over to that Dodge, but we have a 580 SK case. These things don't hold their value very well, and they seem like pretty good machines. This is a turbo one. This is probably a 90s era. Super rusty, super rough. It's got really funky looking boom on it. It's a cast boom, which is odd, but it is an extend-a-hoe, which is nice. Next to it here we have a, I think this is a 6-liter or No, this one's gas. Really rough Ford. Please, never bedliner the bottom of a truck unless it's like utter trash. I hate how it looks. I mean, you do whatever you want, it's your truck. Now, apparently it is a Power Stroke, so it must be a 6-liter. It was, I wonder what the story is with the dealer stickers. Was it sitting in a dealership and they couldn't sell it, so they sent it here? Or did someone buy this thing and it turned out to be a complete lemon right off the lot? Let's check mileage and let's move on. Bed's really rough. I hate the bed liner. Rockers and cab corners are gone. Just under 200,000 miles. I'm not thinking she's a good one. This truck kind of got a tough look to it, although it's a very beat up farm truck. Crew Cab 3500 Duramax here. This is probably like a 03. Steel flatbed. What year are you? Your badge is gone, so I have no idea what year this one is. Smells real bad in here, but the seats, not really that bad. 304,000 miles. If it was an LLY, it might have a little bit life left in it. Really rough. No, it's not that rough of a flatbed. Really beefy looking flatbed. Next to it here we have a John Deere backhoe. This is cooler looking than that case we just scoped out. This is a 510B turbo 4-wheel drive. It's got 8,200 hours, it looks like. You know, not that rough of a machine. The bucket, from what I could tell, seems to be in good shape. It's not all beat up. This would be much nicer in that case because it is 4-wheel drive. Cab doesn't seem to be rotted out. Got a little love note up here on the cab. I don't know. Let me know down below. If you are in an auction like this and you see notes like that, do you always believe them, or do you think some of them are just kind of whispering you sweet nothings? This is an extended hoe. This is a well-optioned backhoe. 4-wheel drive and extended hoe for, you know, an earlier machine. While we're getting into the funky construction equipment, let's check out one of my favorite wheel loaders. The Case, I think this is a W14. These things are super funky looking to me. I really like them. The cab, you actually stay with the front of the machine instead of the back. Just kind of oddball looking machines. The cabs are super funky shaped. This one's got good tires on it. It's like a tree house to get up in it. Oh yeah, it's got the El Camino seat. I think we've seen this machine before. I remember that seat. And the controls down here on the heater kind of reminded me. The fuel pump controls mounted on the heater. This one was here at the last auction, I believe, in the same spot. Got an 1845C. I wonder if this is from the last auction as well. We just saw one of these, and I was pointing out how funky the power link setup was for the boom. Really robust old skid steers, 4BT Cummins. I kind of like them, but they hold their value really well. If this is the same machine, it sold for $10,500 last time. So let's see what it sells for this time.
So in this case, we have a pretty good idea of what this machine is worth or was worth. But I want to show you guys a new trick that I just recently picked up from our friends at BidAgent. So to try this out, you're going to go to the Ritchie Brothers website, which I'm sure you're all familiar with if you're watching this video. Ritchie Brothers is one of the largest auction companies in the world, so they have pretty much every make and model machine. There's some data or previous sale on there. In this case, there are several 1845C skid loaders that are coming up for sale soon, which isn't super helpful for us because it doesn't give us prices. That's where the new tool BidAgent comes into play. BidAgent is a Google Chrome extension that you actually download in, and you can open it up in the Ritchie Brothers website, and it has access to the data that you're seeing for this skid steer. So it shows you kind of all the stats on it, the hours, model, and all that jazz, and then it also briefly goes over the functionality of the particular machine listing that you're looking at. Just kind of summarizes it up, makes it really convenient. Now the most important part, I think, is the pricing. As you can see here is an estimated value of the machine. But another really handy part is this, it will actually link you to previous machines that it had sold. So this is another listing on Ritchie Brothers of a past auction. So you can go through here and compare hours and pictures to see what it's like and price. But if you don't have the time to do that, there is this similarity button down here which shows you the differences between the machine you're looking at and the past sold one to help you better judge the price of what the machine you want is going for. Now, I have already found BidAgent to be incredibly helpful for what I do looking at these auctions, and I hope you guys will too. If you want to go ahead and give BidAgent a try, go ahead and look down at the bottom of the video in the description for a link to their website.
Last weekend, I checked out an auction that you guys will see here soon that had a whole smattering of these. There was probably 40 or 50 of these sitting out in the field. A former machinery kind of breaker, parts seller, had just a field of these things. They all went for like $1,000 a piece. I kind of feel guilty for not picking one up as a project. This one's not bad looking, painted up. Not quite sure what model this is. I know you can tell by the grip on the side of the column there, but I can't remember offhand what that actually means. Oh, there's just so much to see and we're running out of daylight. Keep moving, Patrick. Yeah, we checked out the Dodge a little bit. I got an Oliver 1650. This is a machine that I know we saw here before. This articulating booger. This thing sold for $4 grand last time. I'll have to go back and check. Must have not been enough because she's back. You know, maybe this is a different one because the last one we checked out did not have those lights, I don't think. This is a different tractor. Really cool old articulating case. I don't remember what model it is offhand. Not a good sign when you have a styrofoam cup as your fuel case, fuel cover. It's a 247 according to that badge. Rough looking tractor, but I think some people noted last time it was like really cheap. It was like $3 or $4 grand this thing sold for. The other one sold for. You know, it's cheap horsepower. This one's got decent tires. I got a John Deere 770A grader we got to check out. Let's check out this International 4900 tandem axle. This is an Illinois truck. Must have been set up with a plow. I like the side of the bed here. I think these are just cover pieces, so you could replace them when they get all banged up. You know, because they always get banged up on the side. This is a DT 466 truck, automatic. Door's getting ready to fall off of it, but not, you know, cab's not rotted out. There's a few suspiciously new trucks. That's awfully new for an auction truck in my opinion. But so is this thing, and this thing's kind of pretty looking. This is like a 2017 Duramax. Shiny wheels. I don't know if those are simulators or not. And kind of a nice interior. 85,000 miles. It's a 15 actually, not a 17. Why are you here, you know? You would think if this is a nice truck, it would be real easy to sell for good money right now. That bed looks like it's a lot older than the truck, I think. Interesting. Not rotted out, pretty cleaned up, missing some paint. Just odd to see stuff like that at the auction, you know? It's odd to see a Honda Pilot as well. Folks, we're gonna make the executive decision to skip the 770A. Seems like we check out one of those every auction, so I think you guys gotta get the gist, but I will at least put the price down below what that one went for, because I want to check out this funky John Deere. This is like a weird high lift. It's like if a high lift and a tractor had a baby, because that looks like a tractor cab. So it is a zoom boom. It's got a bucket on it, auxiliary hydraulic hookups, 4-wheel drive, articulating. I swear this is like a mid-series tractor cab. Really beat up. Got some really funky weld repairs. This thing's kind of suspicious. It's like spray painted. I don't know what. Like, why is the door missing? I believe this thing probably lived a very hard life. Very funky machine. Never seen one of these. Alrighty. We got some semis here, but all too new for my taste. Well, I guess you just can't escape the 770 John Deere graders. Here's another one. This one looks a little nicer, so we'll do a quick lap around it. You must get the V plow with it. This one's got pretty modern looking tires. This is a BH series, so it must be newer. It's not rotted out. Not a bad looking machine. See a sweet looking paint scheme going on over here. We got an International. I love the paint on this truck. It's an Eagle. A little too modern for my taste, but I appreciate the paint job. Flat top campers, or flat top sleeper, is pretty cool. Here's the other side of that 770B. It's got nice looking rubber on it, single frame. It's a good looking truck. We got a highway mower, International 885. Not really a common highway mower. Usually they're all John Deere's, or I don't know, I just never really seen a case one. Coming up here, there is a little crispy skidder up there we gotta check out. Ooh, a TJ. I think this one was at one of the previous auctions. It's a 4-cylinder, kind of rusty. It sold for really cheap. I believe that's the same one. I remember it having nice looking tires on it. Don't need another one of those. I already got one. I got a Caterpillar wheel loader. This thing's got some funky looking paint on it as well. Man, this thing I bet has lived a hard life as well. I mean, I guess it came out of an asphalt plant. They just painted right over the asphalt for some extra paint protection. Cab's crusty, tires are bald, just about. Like, check out the paint job, you know? Looks like it came out of Michigan. I'm gonna guess it was an asphalt plant and they had some downtime and they just let the operator paint it and he didn't really care, because this thing's rough. Yeah, look at the fender. Oh my. Could you imagine doing some like wiring diagnostic work on this thing? What a nightmare. Anyway, here next to it we have probably the first nice looking semi of the day. Pretty sweet looking Kenworth. I really love this body style of Ford. I would love to find one day that I could afford, a 6.7 crew cab dually. This one came out of California, which is a little weird. It is rust free. It must have been a company truck. This is the PSI. Extended cab. Damn if it isn't rust free. It's either 2-wheel drive or it's got automatic hubs, because it's got those hub covers. No, it's 4-wheel drive truck. 46,000 miles. It's got like a lockbox center console. I wonder what this thing did. It's like company truck, but it's not miled out. It's got like the attachment board up there for something. The bed seems to be in okay shape. Yeah, check out all the Amphenol connectors. This thing had a weird job. I don't know what it was though. Plates expired back in 23. I have no idea what this thing's story is, but it's a really nice looking truck. Low miles, power stroke. Very odd. All right, we got a Case 580, the much newer version of the one we looked at earlier. I guess I'll give you guys a little glimpse of the Kenworth, more so than I already have. Like I said, this thing's pretty sweet looking. Probably the nicest looking semi here. What's going on with the wiring here though? Your data port is not going to be giving you any data anytime soon. Button stitch interior, 900,000 miles on it. Smells clean. It's got a huge love note over here. You could pause it to read it, but I'm not going to bother. Single frame truck, kind of crusty, but not bad. I love how they just let the fender wear right through the tire wear right through the fender. That means they really care about this thing. Another Case backhoe. All right, keep moving. I need a forklift, and I think I just found it. This thing would be quite handy around the house. I'd probably pick up my whole house with this thing, honestly. This came out of the Marina auction. I missed that this summer because I was on vacation. That was quite the auction. But check this thing out. This thing's a monster. Marine seemed to have a thing for Detroit's. So let's see what this one's powered by. That's like a Perkins or something, isn't it? Well, 6-cylinder. I don't think this thing would be 4-wheel drive. No, it's not. Let's see if we can find a capacity chart somewhere up there. Looks like it's a tailor-made 3-speed. It's got 4,400 hours. Fellow just fired up one of those Olivers over there. It sounds really good. This thing's a real beast. I wish I knew the capacity on it, but I don't see a chart somewhere. How do you know what you can lift? Here we go. Thank you. Okay, capacity. Marina up to 48 is 15,000 pounds. It's lower than I thought, actually. I don't know why oh, that's the Marina attachment. What year are you? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, 15,000 pounds, that would probably do for around the house, you know? This is a Timberjack skidder, I believe. Oh, got beautiful looking rubber on it. That's a 6VT. I bet that thing still runs, except for the fact that the injection pump literally has a hole melted in the side of it. That was a hot fire. I didn't know Timberjacks had Cummins engines in them. Cabs, trashed. They pulled the input off of the rears, I guess, so you could free roll it. I mean, if the axles and steering and all that didn't look like it got that hot down there, if you threw an engine in it, 6BT requires 0 wiring to run. I don't know. There's a lot of value here in tires and axles and blade and grapple and stuff. Okay, check out the Euclid up there. Let's go check that baby out. We got 2 very funky Vermeer tracked trenchers. Never seen the tracked version. My dad has a Case 560. It's kind of the same setup, but it's not tracked. But it has that same vibratory knife on the back for, you just set that in the ground, it vibrates down. And then this is a real holder in the front. The track drive setup's pretty cool. You could build a little crawler out of this thing real easy. But check this sweetie pie out. A Terex TS14B. Detroit powered. I think it's a 471 up front. Looks like it must have been owned by Madsen, whoever they are. Don't get to see scrapers super often at the auction, so this thing's always fun to see, and you never see a Euclid. I believe that is a 471 flavored Detroit diesel, naturally aspirated, other than, of course, its blower, but no turbo. Rubber looks okay. Well, you know, as okay as it can be. What's going on down in our bowl? I mean, definitely worn out, but probably still usable for sure. In the back here, looks like I can see another Detroit. This is also a 471. I believe that's a 71, not a 53. It looks too tall to be a 53. Awesome. Yeah, you just don't get to see these guys. That's a mismatched tire. Funky looking beasts, for sure. I would love to run a scraper one day. I've never done that. I'm sure it's one of those things that kind of gets boring after a while, but for the first day, it'd be a lot of fun. I'd love to crawl up there and make engine noises, but we are getting close to dark here. Got a really nice looking 7140 Case International. That is a really sharp looking tractor. Nice rubber, nice cab. That'll go for a lot of money. Keeping it moving here. I got a deck over. Still in the hunt for one, but I think I want a gooseneck. Here we got a Freightliner. This is like an FL70. Yeah, an FL70. This was a service bid. It's got L-Pack boxes on it, which is kind of weird. I wonder if they stole this bed off something else and they had this weird space here and they wanted to fill it in. Looks like you got a little Miller Blue Star, a Stellar body. It's a Stellar crane as well. It's a nice looking body. It's not all rotted out. It's got a little bit of crust starting, but that's a pretty beefy crane for a truck of this size as well. Yeah, I mean, this is your torch box, but still seems like it seals up real nice. That'll go for a lot of money, even if someone just buys it for the bed, I bet. Keep her moving. I see some older John Deeres down here that we're going to check out. Okay, we got a pretty nice looking 4320 John Deere here. I mean, it's painted up. It's got some missing paint and stuff, but overall, kind of a nice looking tractor. Doesn't look too Like they covered up a bunch of stuff right before the auction, you know. Next to it here, we have another one. This one's nicer looking. Chrome stack, straight piped. A few dings and dents on the nose piece, but not too bad. That one's definitely nicer looking. Both have pretty good rubber. And then to complete the John Deere trifecta here, we have a 4640. This one's not bad looking at all. It's got all sorts of mirrors hanging off of it. Extra fuel capacity on the front, toolbox. He really splurged on all the accessories. Got the fire extinguisher, which we saw the importance of that earlier with that 4440. It's got the newer AC setup. Let's see what's going on in the cab. Looks to be pretty nice. I don't have the time to check the miles right now. Rubber's getting a little low on tread. Quick hitch. I bet this one goes for a fair chunk of change, as long as it's not crazy high hours. We're always checking out the 8630s and stuff. This is a much newer articulating John Deere. This thing's even bigger. This is a 9120. These tires are easily 6 feet tall. It's got like a weird clear coat or something on it, or like a paint protector on some of the stuff, but overall seems to be a pretty nice tractor. Check this bigger out, a 336E. Pretty modern machine. It's got a hydraulic quick attach. Pins and bushings don't look completely worn out, but you don't know until you start swinging it around. Cab glass all still there. It's got a couple dings and dents back here from swinging into things. It's a hybrid. Yeah, it's a pretty good gouge if you can gouge into the counterweight like that. They had to print out the signs. Oh, it's got a camera, so it really is a modern machine. Interesting. What's going on here with this case? What's up with this counterweight dealio? That is a funky looking counterweight setup. So the cab and everything's way skinnier. Why wouldn't you just continue the cab out straight? Give the operator a little bit more room instead of making this funky looking machine. You already got it's not like you're saving any width. Got some other Deere tractors down here. We got a 4010, a 4520, and a 5020. I love 5020s, so let's check these out. Not bad looking, faded paint, but not beat up. It's 4520s, way sweeter looking. I just love how much higher these sit up than these. This thing's a monster. And then the coolest one of the bunch, the 5020. These things are super cool. I love the turbo air stack. Yeah, I would love to run one of these one day. My neighbor growing up had one of these. I believe they still have it. It's kind of a toy. The fenders on these, they're just super cool in my opinion. And then, you know, we got a John Deere G over here. Can't look past this little guy. Okay, what aisle way do I want to work my way up? We missed that white over here. Take a little gander at this 8970. These are pretty cool. This is earlier than the 9000 series that we looked at earlier. This is between the 9000 and the 8600s or 8630s and stuff, I believe. Good looking rubber, really good looking rubber. Really good looking tractor overall. That's a little bit faded out, but not bad. I bet it was probably kept in a shed. That back glass is a little foggy. Might just be condensation though. We are getting to the end of the lineup just as it's getting really dark out here. We got a 4030. We're gonna skip over that because check this thing out. Oh my gosh. A 1206 four-wheel drive. Duals on the front even. This thing's a beauty. Never seen anything like this thing, honestly. I had to stop and take a picture of this thing. This thing might become the tag picture of the video. Clamp-on duals on the front and the rear, which is super cool. Just a beautiful paint job on it. Looks like all brand new hardware. This is a really good restoration. Check out the drive shaft for the front axle assist. The fenders are just beautiful. This is a sporty looking tractor. Never seen a tractor with well, of this era with dual front tires like this. What a beauty. Then we got a 2606 Industrial International next to it here. Another really beautiful job. This one's not quite as nice, but pretty close. This one looks like it was driven around a little bit, so it's a little dirtier. Alrighty folks, I think the last thing we're going to cover in this video as it gets dark here is this Pierce fire truck. Just like John Deere 770 graders, we cannot seem to get away from these things at this auction. There's almost always a fire truck. 20,000 miles. Automatic, of course. I would open the hood up, but every time I seem to operate one of these hoods on these things, I get clobbered by this thing. But I bet this one's a Cummins, just like the other ones we've seen recently. The bed looks to be in really nice shape. Still got all of its nice looking graphics. This is a pumper, I believe. I like that light bar. Yeah, pretty good looking truck. Nice looking rubber all the way around. I always thought fire trucks were always Detroit's, but I keep running into ones like these that always are Cummins. I must have changed over. I would assume this is like a 90s truck, so maybe they... Alright, I'll take a chance of getting clobbered to check. Yep, big old Cummins. Now, we saw a lot of really sweet stuff at the auction today. That Euclid, that 1206 four-wheel drive, International, the D350 Dodge over there. But my favorite is obviously the Oshkosh. This thing is awesome. I would love to have one of these one day. I don't think it'll be this one, but these things are wicked cool. I think I'd rather have the snowblower one if I'm being picky. All right, folks, with that, it's getting dark. I'm gonna get on out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I apologize, it was kind of rushed. I wanted to try and see everything before it got dark. It's really hard when you work full time and then to try and get out here. It's an hour drive here for me, and to get out here before it gets dark is really tough, but I try my best and I hope you guys enjoy it. See you on the next one.